Hi, and welcome to Apptentive. I'm going to teach you how to upload translation files. So if you have another language that you want to present Apptentive interactions in, you can do so through this process. So to get to the translations page, you're going to come to the Apptentive dashboard, navigate to Settings, and then Translations. So from here, there are a few things to point out. This first page will show you all of the languages that have already been set up. And then if you scroll to the very bottom, there's also an option to add another language. So if you want to add a language that's obviously not listed here or something like a dialect, you could do so right there. And then within this page as well, you'll get an idea of the translations and which ones are out of date and which ones need to be updated. So if you click into a particular language, you'll see here which translations are updated, which ones are outdated, and which interactions are missing completely from the translations file. So to get to the translation files, you'll go to localization files here, and then there are two options: complete bundle, that's going to give you everything, whether or not it's updated or not, and then out of date or missing only. Let's just download, in this case, the complete bundle. That way you can see things that are filled out. So you'll click the download button here, and then as with all downloads within the Apptentive dashboard, your exports will go right here. So you'll just click on the little bell and then you'll click download on your file. Now the translation files will show up in a format we call XLIF. So you'll just need an XLIF file converter in order to utilize, basically in order to edit these files and update them. So you'll click on the zip file and then you're just going to choose the language that you want to edit or update. So in this case, it'll show your app name and then after the dot, it'll have that language. So let's look at Spanish here. Okay, so a few things to note here. The first is that, depending again on the program that you're using, you can add a third column. So what that would do here is it'll show you the interaction that or in this case, sometimes the text that is attributed to that translation, or you can just display two columns. You will also see here everything that is written in the dashboard is going to appear in this leftmost column, and then its corresponding translation will appear in the right column. So anything that's missing, you can actually just do a quick, easy filter here and filter for anything that you need to update. Alternately, you can look at everything that's been filled in using that filter, and then this last filter shows you everything that matches exactly. So let's take a look at just the missing ones. Another helpful trick here is you can search. So if you have a lot of instances of thank you, you can just search there and then you can paste it in each of these fields. So it allows you to update things a little bit quicker and makes the process a little bit simpler. So once you've completed all of your updates, just close that file, and then you're going to grab it from wherever you saved it. So in this case, it's just still saved in my downloads, and I'm just going to drag and drop it to this update field here. There we go. So it's going to start processing, and then it's going to give you a status, and then again you're going to check the notification drawer for upload status. So that's this little bell here. So it's still running the import. Once it's completed, as you can see here, we've updated 7 translations. We've unchanged 341 of them. So the last thing I'm going to point out here is that there are some advanced translation options here. The first one, this radio button that's selected, is the least restrictive. So what that means is if a translation is out of date or you're missing a translation on an interaction, we will still deliver it, but we will just deliver it in the language that it was written in. So if you write a survey in English, we will show it to the device in English if you haven't given us an alternate translation. The next option will deliver out-of-date translations, but if you're missing them, we won't deliver it. And then the last one, we won't deliver any out-of-date or missing. One thing to keep in mind with these last two buttons is that means that the interaction will not show to the end user if their language is set to anything other than what the survey is written in. so English. And then the last thing to note here is you can also send out weekly out of date or missing translation reminder emails to yourself just to make sure that you're updating everything accordingly. So that is your tutorial on Apptentive Translations.